So today, everybody, we're going to have a little bit of fun with symmetry. The first thing that we're going to do, and you can feel free to follow along with this at home or in the classroom right here, is we're going to take our paper. We just have a plain sheet of white paper. Any paper will work. And you just fold it in half. Okay, and remember, symmetry is what happens when one half looks in the mirror and it meets the other half perfectly. Okay, so if we look at our piece of paper as a mirror, we can open it up and close it, and it will meet the other half of the paper just perfectly. There's no nothing hanging out over the side or nothing curved up funny, nothing folded funny. It just meets perfectly. And what we're going to do, okay, I thought we'd have a little bit of Valentine's Day fun, since it is Valentine's Day coming up here. I'm going to make a heart, but for your shape, you can choose to make anything you want. Now, when I was in 3rd grade, I'm sure, or in elementary school, I always wanted to know how to make the perfect heart. Because every time I would draw a heart, I don't know about you, but every time I would draw a heart, it would come out like this, and then this side would be like that. And I'd get frustrated, because this side is way too big, and this side is way too small. Sometimes my hearts would come out much worse. Now, over the years, I got better at making hearts. However, one trick that I figured out for when I really had to have that perfect heart for that perfect someone, what I would do is I would draw only half of the heart. Okay? So I would draw only half of the heart. And I would do it like this. And I would hope that I liked it, but if I didn't, I would erase and I would redraw. Okay? And then what I would do with that half of the heart is I would fold it over like this. Okay? Now, you can take a pencil and scribble, or what I will also do sometimes is I'll just take something hard. Can be a pen or anything that will rub that, because the cool thing about the graphite and your pencil, the stuff that you write with, is it comes off. And so you can probably see now that some of that graphite rubbed onto the other side of my paper. And what I can do is I can very carefully trace that, okay, to make a perfect heart. I mean, it's not 100% perfect, especially I'm rushing just a little bit to kind of show you guys the idea. But look, I can make it meet in the middle. Now, I think everybody would agree, though, that this heart is much more symmetrical, right? When I fold it, I'll definitely have a heart that is pretty even with itself, as opposed to this heart, where we can see this side is like so much bigger. Okay, now that's the basics of how to do this little symmetry trick when you draw. One thing that I like to add sometimes is maybe I want to add some designs in the middle of my heart, which I also want to be symmetrical. Maybe I'm going to add some other hearts in the middle of my heart. Okay, and I'm going to show you this works with even a complicated design. So maybe I'll draw a 3D shape in the middle of my heart. Okay, just to make it stand out a little bit. Okay, maybe have some little hearts in the middle of there. Okay, and then maybe I will make a great big smiley face in the middle of my heart. Okay, so this is what I'll do. You can do anything that you want, and maybe some little excitement around it. Alright, here. You have to think when I fold it, okay, and I do my trick again. And this time I'm going to use my pencil, and I just rub it like this. So obviously I'm going to get pencil lead on the back, graphite on the back of my paper, but, well, I decided I didn't mind. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to kind of just rub the whole thing. Okay, and then I'm going to flip back, open it up, and look at this. You'll see that the design has transferred over to the other side enough so that I can trace it. Okay, and just watch how it turns out. Okay, and if you find that it doesn't come out dark enough, you can just trace it again. Okay, and some of this lead is a little bit loose, so kind of didn't come out exactly, but it came out good enough for me to show you what it is I want to show you. And you probably want to keep a pencil sharpener handy while you're doing this, because sometimes the stuff will rub right off, and you'll use an awful lot of pencil lead while you're doing this. But I'm just going to trace it around, show you the basic idea. And I look back at my original design too when I can't quite see the lines. That's a good strategy to use. And so then what you have after you do this, oops, I missed a heart. Look at that. You can see where it wasn't symmetrical. Okay, I left out an eye, and I'm like, what doesn't look right? Oh, I missed the eye. So I come back here, put the eye in, I trace that heart. Now I see I have not just what I had before, one, but I have a perfectly, as perfect as I can get, symmetrical heart. And then maybe I want to make this one say, Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. And then this one I'll make say, so it's not going to be completely symmetrical because I'm going to make them say different stuff. I love you. Alright? And then I've made my very own Valentine's card. Okay, it's my very own original Valentine's card. No one has any like it, just me. And if I want to color it, I can certainly take out some markers and color right in those lines if I want. And of course, it doesn't have to be symmetrical when I color. I can do whatever, do it however I want. And this doesn't just work with Valentine's Day cards either. You could do it with anything, especially something that you're trying to get two perfect halves of. And you can also get very creative. There's a lot of different things that you could design, or different cards that you could make, or different shapes that you could use that would produce a very, very nice symmetrical design for anything that you might need to do it for. And again, I'm not an artist, but you can see with just a few easy steps how I can get a beautiful symmetrical Valentine's Day card. So this is a little bit about symmetry, okay, and an example of how we can use symmetry to create a really cool Happy Valentine's Day.